And good evening. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner here from the Hack and the Highlander Activity Center here in our lobby and our home here in the corner of the building. And of course, off last week. Took a little one day hiatus, but we're back this week and got a good show for you tonight. We're going to kick things off with everything old is new again. Jim McDaniel is joining us, and Coach got named last night to now the head boys basketball coach here at Valley City. Your reaction of now getting a chance to lead up the boys?
I'm pretty excited about it. Visiting with Rob and everything about coaching this year. Got to talk with some of the guys yesterday. That went pretty good, and I'm just excited to get started. We got to wait all the way till the 27th of November, but get a chance to get prepared. But I'm pretty excited. I love the new class that we're going to be playing in. We got a good batch of athletic kids coming back, so it should be a pretty exciting year, I think.
Central Cass, I think, is who you get right away. So, nothing like playing the undefeated state champs in your in your first game. But you know what? Why not play the best right off the bat? A good chance to see where your kids are at.
Yeah, and I think every game is going to be a good test. Rob Hunt said he didn't pull any punches on the schedule and everything, so everything's going to probably be, very, very competitive. But if things can roll really good going out of the gate, you got Central Cass and you have Kindred. You pick up 2 wins early in the season against those 2 big dogs. All of a sudden, the community's pretty excited.
Well, now the group coming back. You mentioned you got a good group of guys coming back. Yeah, lost a few seniors. Obviously, you're not going to know a whole heck of a lot until November 13th when you get them in the gym, and that's, I think, when practice begins for boys basketball. You may have senior or captain's practice or something a little bit ahead of time, but is this you probably had a chance to see this team over the last couple of years, either if you're reffing or watching in the stands. Do you kind of have an idea of what you're going to be seeing here?
Yeah, first thing you notice is we're going to have some size. We got some big kids. I think they're athletic with their size too, so that's going to be, an asset. I look to play. My teams, I'm always wanting, strong defense. Some of the time, being full court stuff. I like up tempo, but if we can do that, and then we got some big guys where we can do some post work too. I don't know, that gets pretty exciting.
You get those big guys, you like up-tempo, getting in that fast break mode, getting that first rebound, and getting that outlet pass. I know Talon Larson is a pretty good passer from the post area, but isn't that a key, too, with your up-tempo? You got to get that rebound and get that fast break going.
Yeah, out-rebounding is the key, and so if we can out-rebound our opponents, get it out quick, get it up the floor, and then have those big guys coming down and get it inside, transition points are always a plus. It's exciting for the guys playing, and I think it's exciting for the crowd too.
And you talk about defense, limiting the other team's possessions. Not so many points, but if you limit their possessions by creating turnovers, that will help you in the long run.
Yeah, and I think, pressure defense so that they are never comfortable in their offensive sets, and they're never comfortable in their shooting either, so I like the pressure defense. I like it full court if we can do that. And again, that's going to depend on who we're playing and things like that. But that's the style I like, and it'll be exciting to get the guys actually on the floor and in the gym and get in shape and ready for that. So.
And I know a lot of people, the thought on their mind, Zach Sikora had that knee injury, he's been sitting out football, and I suppose it's really hard to tell whether or not when he comes back, if he comes back, and really where he's going to be at, being out of action for so long.
Yeah, guys that have had knee injuries, they're always a little tentative right off the bat, and getting him in shape, getting him in the gym. I've heard it's going to be after Christmas, January sometime. Yeah. That's what I've heard, but that's not Zach telling me. That's just I don't know.
In conversation.
Yeah. So no. So yeah, he's a good player, a senior. Hopefully he can get back and finish off his basketball career at Valley City on a real positive note.
9 years as an official. So you can be harder on the officials. But no, that's in a unique perspective. Normally you go from coaching to being an official. Now you were coaching official, back to coaching. Is that an interesting perspective for you, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is. I've never been a guy that rides the refs too much. Some of the guys, of course, I've gotten texts and emails and stuff like that, and they've kind of picked on me, and I told them that I'm going to really ride them now, and kind of had a little fun with that. And they said, yeah, they're going to tee me up. And I said, well, that'll be good. That'll be my second tee then. So I coached a long time before I got a tee. And when I did, I think I've only had one or two or something like that. And it's so that's not my demeanor on the sideline. So no, it's fun joking around with them. And yeah, it'll be fun sitting down. And I guess I better know the rules now that I'm sitting on the coaching side. So
now you better know the rules. Hey, that was 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Come on. What are you doing here? Now, with the new class as well, this is all new for every coach in the region, not knowing who the other team is and what they have. And, I'm thinking Northern Cass, Central Cass, Kindred, Wahpeton, I think Wymer Lidgerwood. I think they might just be on the girls' side. Those are just the teams off the top of my head. But it's going to be unknown commodity for all the coaches in this region because they haven't played one another.
Yeah. I think it should be exciting for everybody. And, getting to play in, different gyms, things like that. I mean, that's going to be – I love our facility here. Some of these teams get to come in and kind of see what Valley City has. That's going to be fun to, kind of show off our facility. It's new to everybody. I know that we're going to have, being one of the big schools coming down, we're going to have a target on our back. It's kind of nice having Devils Lake and Wahpeton joining us as those big ones coming down because I think they're going to be gunning for us more than maybe some of the other teams that they're used to playing. So.
And I always like asking coaches, and really this is more of a question for middle to late November, right before November 27th is the goals set. But you in your mind right now, you just want to get in the gym, get to know the players, see what you have, and we'll worry about the goals and everything down the line.
Yeah. Right now it's just a lot of the guys I've had, in sixth grade, they might not have been in my class, but that's the hat that they see me as too. So even when we had our little meeting, the few guys that I got to talk to yesterday, I kind of had to tell them that they've seen me with the reffing hat on, and they've seen me with my sixth grade math and my elementary teaching. They don't realize that 21 years, before that, there was 21 years where I was in the gym, whether I was coaching girls or whether it was coaching boys back in Montana. They're kind of unaware of that. That's kind of showing my age, though, too. So.
I won't say anything about that. But it's just bottom line, Jim, it's exciting. I know the question had been wondering, what are we doing? Where's our, what are we going to do with the coach? I think Ty left a great legacy here. The kids had a good foundation coming into this year, and right now it's just an excitement. We're ready to get after it, ready for basketball season to start.
Yeah, it's exciting to get started. The juices have been flowing. I'm probably bugging Nicole at home a little bit because all of a sudden some videos and things like that, and I'm looking on my computer at some old stuff, and all of a sudden my mind is on basketball a lot, and the juices are flowing. So it's exciting. I can't wait to get going. And with the class, with the new Class A that we're going to be playing. I don't know if we could ask for anything better.
And with the teams coming in, you're going to see this gym's going to be rocking.
I think so. And my goal is to get the guys playing. We're working hard every night. A lot of great defense. Hopefully we can put some points on the board. And it's just going to be an atmosphere that people in the community are just, hey, what are we going to do tonight? Well, let's go to the game and let's watch the boys play tonight. So.
All right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining us, and congratulations. And we look forward to our chats once basketball season starts. And Welcome back to the bench area.
All right, thanks a lot, Paul.
That is Coach Jim McDaniel from the Highlander boys basketball team. We'll be back with more at Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. And good evening. Welcome back here to Coach's Corner here from the Highlander Activity Center on the Highlander Activity Network live on YouTube. We'll move into the cross-country season as It's already state meet coming up here October 28th in Jamestown. EDC meet happened here last weekend up in Grand Forks, and we are now chatting with the EDC champion, Reagan Berg. How does that sound?
Feels pretty good.
Senior athlete as well for the East region, so that means you'll be up for that when the state meet comes around. 18:46. You took about 13 seconds off your personal best. Did you feel you ran that good of a race?
Like during it?
Yeah, as you're running,
Yes.
do you even think about things like that?
Yeah, I was thinking about my time a lot and the gap that was forming between me and the people behind me. I was thinking I wanted to improve my time. That was what I was going into thinking. So that was on my mind the whole time.
Was it Kings Walk? Or what course were you guys at up in
It
Grand
was
Forks?
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Drive Park.
Have you been on there before?
Yes.
Is it a course you like?
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty flat. We always have good weather up at Grand Forks. So that's good. Yeah, no hills.
What was it like kind of dreary that day? It didn't
It was
rain, though, but
cloudy, 50
Yeah.
degrees. It's kind of perfect weather for running, though.
Good
so.
running weather. Good running weather is. Well, now you've got that first thing that you wanted, that your goal. So now you got some time out. Do you like having that time? I mean, I think you're running this weekend at Johnson Park in Moorhead. You do have.
I just today.
That was today.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Good. I got 14:56, which was I wanted to get under 15, so I got that.
3K or 4?
It was a 4K.
It was a 4. So.
Yeah. I got first. The girls' team won, so that was good.
Did you like getting that competition? Would you like to have another meet before state, or is this good?
No, I think this is good. It's good to have like recovery and get a good training in. Like today, it was basically a good training day, and I don't want to overload myself before state.
No, don't want to overdo that. Now you got Parkhurst in Jamestown, where the state tournament, state meet always seems to be at. Do you like running there?
Yeah, I do. It's mostly flat except for like 1K of it in the middle, but I mean, I'm fine with it. I enjoy hills sometimes. I feel like
You're
they're
more of a flat. You like more flat? It doesn't really matter to you.
It doesn't matter to me. I enjoy hills sometimes, so it doesn't.
Whatever is the course, I'll run it.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring it on. We'll see what happens. Have you reached what you thought at the beginning of the year? Have you when you started practices, started in August or July, or for you year round, but and you kind of set those goals? Have you started to achieve those goals that you set for yourself?
I've started. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna be running 1846s this year, but I wanted to be one of the best in the EDC and state, and I've gotten one of those. So.
Well, number one, when the polls came out, I think a new one came out today. I'm not sure if a new one came out today. No. So, but last week, back at that number one spot. Now you look at some of the other runners in the state. I know Jocelyn Schiller at Red River is probably is one of the top. But do you look at some of the other times from some of the other runners?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think I stay pretty updated on the top 10 or top 20 in the state.
There's a girl from Bismarck, too, that I think was right there for a while, but it looked like she dropped off a little bit. But
yes.
Do you know the West better than the, as
I
well?
think I definitely keep a lot of tabs on the times that they're running, but I know the girls in the EDC more because we run against them almost every meet. So
when you run a meet, are you running against other runners? Are you running against Reagan Berg? Are you running against the course? What's your mindset?
I guess my mindset is primarily running against other people because my goal is to get first, or, that's my goal. But secondary, like say there's a gap or there's not a lot of people at the meet, so there's going to be not a lot of people to run against. You kind of have to have it in your own mind what you want. You can't rely on somebody else in front of you to pace you.
There's a lot of solitude, isn't there?
Yes.
And your mind is working too. But when you have that kind of a gap, you're just almost like you could be out for a regular jog, a regular run, not really in a competition.
Yeah, I mean, today there wasn't really a lot of runners, I guess, and so it kind of felt like that because there was a point where there was no spectators either, so it was just kind of the lead cart. And
Well, now we get to state on the 28th. Obviously, that being at the top of the run. Do you have a time in mind?
yeah, I want to get around 18:30.
So take another 15 seconds or so off. What would you have to do to achieve that?
I would have to. I think my first mile is okay, but I would have to take time off my second and third mile.
Okay. So you have a strategy. It's not
Yes,
just go
I
and
do.
run.
Yes.
You got to have a strategy.
Yes.
All right. Well, Reagan, congratulations on the success so far, and who knows? Maybe in a couple weeks we're talking to state champ Reaganburg, but we'll worry about that here that first week in November. But congratulations so far, Reagan, and good luck here in Jamestown and next weekend.
Thank you.
That is Reaganburg from the Valley City Highlander cross country team. We got Coach Deb Bilke coming up next as Coach's Corner continues from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here at Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network on this Wednesday evening. And we're now joined by Valley City Highlander cross country coach Deb Bilke, ADC Coach of the Year, East Region Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
This team that that on boys and girls, they have really performed. It seemed like they've gotten better each and every week. As you know, you and I have talked a lot about it. Is that something that you have seen too, you and the staff, that this team just seems to improve each and every meet?
Yeah, that's one of our goals at the beginning of the season is to get these athletes ready for basically for the end of the season. So we do a variety of things throughout the whole season. When we first start our season, we have a meet maybe once a week, and then we go for a stretch, and not many coaches do this, but we go for a stretch of 8 days where we have 3 meets, and it kind of overloads them, but it gets them prepared and gets them stronger, I feel anyway. And then after that period of time, it's about 1, maybe 2 a week at the most, and we kind of taper down a little bit so that we're ready for the big meets. And so what I'm really fortunate with is I have 20 athletes that would basically run through a wall if I asked them to. So they pretty much do what I ask them to, and they work hard constantly.
And we'll start on the boys' side. I think just about everybody up and down the lineup had PRs at the East Region this past weekend. Did you see a lot of progression on the boys' side with these runners throughout the year?
Oh, absolutely. What we have is, especially with our younger ones, with Jack and Elijah and Simon running, those are the 3 younger ones running varsity. You'll see a lot of progression as boys get older. They just get stronger and stronger, so they should be able to run faster times. And Jack had it. I mean, they had huge PRs, a lot of them. I think out of the 20 kids I took to EDC, we have 20 out. 15 of them PR'd, and 3 of them, it was their season best runs of the year.
Yeah.
And then, like with the younger athletes, we always constantly want to watch them so that they get PRs, so that they do get better, because they will progress pretty quick, because they're starting out with pretty much with nothing, no knowledge, and then they keep learning as you run, because every race you run, you learn something new. Because there's no cookie cutter thing that I can tell them what to do. You know, you have to do this, 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 and this. Not everybody can do that. So by racing quite a bit, they can learn how to race. If they're only going to race 4 or 5 times a year, it's hard to learn how to race, because sometimes you just don't have a good race, and then you figure it out. Well, I can't do this or that or whatever.
Yeah, it's a learning experience each and every time, and then they got to have a memory too of that, don't they?
Absolutely.
They got to keep that in the back of their mind. Sometimes you hear in sports have a short-term memory. Maybe for running, no, you got to kind of remember what you did.
Right, and you can't dwell on the negative things. You think about the negative things, the things that you can change, and then you go through and change them. But you can't really dwell too long on the negative, or that affects your next race really quick, because it becomes a burden to you if you're constantly being negative. It's it really weighs down on you.
Now, on the girls' side of the EDC, obviously Reagan, but Bryn Leak, I think, was 14th. She got all conference with way she ran this year, this last weekend. How has she improved too as an 8th grader in her couple of years running cross country?
It's a little tougher with Bryn because a lot of her running is done on her own because she is playing volleyball also, and so we share them, but I get the short end of the share sometimes, but that's okay. We take her when she's available, and she does some of her running on her own and so forth. But she's a really strong runner. She's very talented. And so a lot of this just comes natural to her. Mm-hmm. And she's still really young. With girls, it seems like it's a little bit easier when they're younger. And then once they mature, it gets a little bit harder. And then after that, then they just, they get stronger, or, you don't know what's going to happen with a female runner. Right. Whether they're going to get stronger and faster, or if they're just going to maintain. It's a whole different body than a male runner going through the program. But she's done very well. She I ended up 14th, and to get all conference in cross country is one race. It's not voted on by coaches or anything like that. You toe the line, and the top 20 are automatically all region. And that's the same thing with state. All state it comes down to one race, and it's kind of a tough situation, but the girls, on the girls' side, they ran really strong. They ran very well.
And today, they took first as a team today. Was it a different group or a different running today after the EDC? When you think, well, we ran the EDC, okay, we got state coming up. No, you still have this too. So what's that kind of a mindset?
It's kind of a fun, more relaxing atmosphere. You just finished with EDC. EDC is big for everybody, because even the junior high have a race. Right. And so it's a pretty serious day. It's fun, but it is very important to the kids, is the EDCs. So when we go to the ACDC, it's called it's the Autumn Classic Distance Challenge. When we go to that, it's a different distance, the 4K, and a few different teams, like it was North, South, Davies, like their JV was there, and then Horace, Jamestown, us, and somebody else, Shanley. And so, it's a little different team. It's a different atmosphere. They put all of the girls on the line for the 4K, so it's from seniors down to 7th graders, which is kind of fun, because then those younger athletes, they get to warm up with the varsity kids, and it's kind of a whole different atmosphere. And we ran, like I said, very well. Reagan got first, and then Greta got second, Bryn got third, and then Cadence got 11th, and Tricia ended up with 20. They gave up top 20, and so their combined score, they ended up winning the girls' division. And then on the boys' side, Corbin ended up 11th. Okay. And so, they all ran really well. I think I just went through the PRs. And out of 17 kids that had a chance to PR, because some of them hadn't run the 4K before, we had 14 that PR'd.
Out of 17.
So, in the 4K. So they ran exceptionally well.
And you mentioned Corbin, and he had that 2 weeks or so that he was out because he was sick. Are you seeing getting his strength back and running the way he was prior to that?
Yes, actually at EDC he did PR by I think it was about 10 seconds, which he hadn't PR'd for a while. So yeah, it was a big race for him.
Well, now as we get here with the state meet coming up October 28th in Jamestown, what do you expect out of this group? Probably the same that you expect every meet. They're going to run hard. They're going to do their best, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and we'll be taking 5 boys. We'll be taking Corbin, Trevor, Jack Sorby, Elijah Drummond, and Simon Trapp will be our 5 boys that'll go. And then on the girls' side, we have Reagan, Greta, Cadence Fetch, Bryn Leak, Trisha Finning, and Autumn Anderson. Thank you. And
The assistant coach over here.
and what's nice about it too is 5 out of 6 of those girls have been there before. So it's not going to be too big of an event for them. A number of them have been there. This will be Reagan's 6th year of going to state and Greta's 5th year. And so this, I don't expect them to, it's a big event, but it's not too big for them. They know what to expect. We've been over to Jamestown twice this year. We'll end up going over there next Wednesday, and we go in, run the course, and I mean, it's really nice to be only 30 miles from there. So we'll go over there and just have a afternoon practice over there. And so with Trevor, on the other side, Trevor and Corbin have been to state a number of times too. So it's not too big of an event for them where they're going to be like mentally not prepared.
Final question for you, and I think we've talked about this before, but it's also worth repeating. It a lot of youth on this team. You only have 2 seniors, if memory serves, with Corbin and Reagan. Simon Trapp, I think you had mentioned there's only 5 7th graders that run the 5K in the state of North Dakota, and he was one of them. How have the young runners, the Bryson Bergs and some of the junior high kids, how they have progressed this year?
They've done really well. We had a couple of kids that have only run the 4K a couple of times, and they were PRing big. But yeah, the 7th graders have really come along. We had 3 girls and 3 boys, and so they've made huge strides.
So the future looks pretty good.
I hope so, yeah. You gotta it's the biggest part with cross country is what you do in the off season.
Right.
If you don't build that base in the off season, it's hard to start training right away. Where you spend the first month just training to get in shape. But that's the biggest thing is I've been fortunate. I've had a number of kids that you see them out running all summer long. I'll see them running most of the winter, also get ready for the track season.
Yep. And the distance, will run those distances once they get into track season, and that's how they stay in shape, and is doing that. I guess in cross country, just run. That's how you stay in shape.
Right. You do. There's a lot to just running.
Right.
But
yes.
There's a lot behind the scene that people don't understand. But you've got to get out and put in the time.
You got to eat well. You got to get you're an athlete. You got to do the right things.
Right.
To keep your body, mind, and everything in perfect harmony.
Right.
Well, now we've got October 28th, Coach, state meet coming up here, and wish you success. Congratulations on the good showing. Girls were 6th in the EDC as a team. Good showing at the East Region. Now it's on to state, and we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have you back and talking about impossible state champ and a couple of all-staters here in a couple of weeks.
Yep. All we ask is that they run up to their potential, and whatever happens, happens.
And have fun.
Yep.
That's the biggest, and I'm sure they do.
Yep.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Coach Deb Bilkey joining us from the Highlander Cross Country. We'll be back here and wrap things up on Coach's Corner from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. And back here on Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network, and fall sports season pretty much wrapped up. We had our last 2 football games on Monday and Tuesday. Football season is done. The Highlander football team, they are on the road on Friday night taking on Fargo South, and we'll probably know Friday morning what the outcome is as far as the Highlanders and football and the playoffs are concerned. Coming off last week's 22-0 loss to Grand Forks Central, Highlanders are 4-4 on the year. Right now with that QRF, they're number 8. Right behind them is Devils Lake. Devils Lake is at Grand Forks Central on Thursday, so we'll know Friday what the Highlanders have to do Friday night if they are going to extend their season into the playoffs. And the volleyball team, they are on the road again this week. Their next home match is next Tuesday, October 24th, and then they'll have another home match October 31st, and then it's on to the East Region Tournament for the Valley City volleyball team. So that, too, is coming up. So all we've got is right now Coach's Corner on Wednesdays. Again, we'll have volleyball next Tuesday, October 24th, and then October 25th, Coach's Corner. And that'll be a great show again. We'll be talking with Matt Nielsen, wrapping up the tennis season. We'll be talking football. Also, Student Congress has already had a couple of meets, and we'll be talking with some of the members of Student Congress here as well next week. Well, I want to thank our guest tonight, Jim McDaniel, the new boys basketball coach here at Valley City, and, of course, Deb Bilke and Regenberg from the Highlander cross-country team. And as usual, I'd like to thank you viewing us and watching us on YouTube. We do appreciate it. And bookmark that YouTube channel, and you can watch all those great Highlander activities live or archived. And again, just go to YouTube, and you can search Highlander activities or Valley City Highlander activities, and everything is right there at your fingertips on your computer. My thanks to Jane Johnson, our cameraman and technical director tonight. And we will be back again next week at 6 o'clock here at the Hack Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network.